Hey guys, EBPMAN here, and today we're going to cover, in a very short condensed version, the announcement of the Samsung Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. Let's go ahead and check it out. So first thing I wanted to share with you is really what you've seen a lot in all the videos that have been surfacing on YouTube. Pretty much is spot on, and because of it being so accurate, I felt that the actual event lacked a lot of the energy because everybody knew what was going to happen. One thing I'll just share with you is that the focus and direction of Samsung, I think, has been adjusted to be more spot on with how we all use our phones. The president of the company talked about how they're designing now a phone that really focuses on pictures, sharing, the social media aspect, and then calling as one of the last things. And that, I think, is not a bad thing because I think they perfected the call quality. So I don't think anyone that I know of has complained about a phone in a very long time. You may complain about your network, but not about the phone quality when from a call. So they're focusing now on the ability to take pictures, share it, and create immersive experiences with that. So that's why you're going to see all the changes that are coming in the S9, which to me are incremental, are really focused around this area. So let's go ahead and start talking with some of the things that they really focused on the show. So I'm going to talk about the colors, we're going to talk about some of the specs which wasn't mentioned, and also the availability. So right off the get-go, let's talk about when can you order this. You can start ordering the Samsung Galaxy S9 or S9 Plus the 2nd of March. And a matter of fact, I've already been seeing some really awesome deals. T-Mobile has, if you sign with a payment plan, they'll give you 50% off of the S9 or S9 Plus. I'll include some links in the comment area so that you can see that. But first of all, so you're going to look at four phones, colors that are available. So the four phone colors are black, purple, blue, or gray. I know, for example, when we pick up our S9, my wife is going to get the purple lilac color. She likes pink, and that's definitely going to go with her. And then I'm going to pick up the black. Now, a couple things that they did not mention at the event were the specs. I just wanted to share with you some of the major differences. The big difference for me is, first of all, the S9 is going to have a single camera. So if you're looking to have an experience with a rear wide-angle camera, right, you're going to have that dual camera experience, which are going to be both 12 megapixel, you're probably going to want to go with the S9 Plus. Now, that doesn't mean that the S9 is a lagger in any way. It just doesn't have that dual camera function, which I've come to love from the Note 8. The second thing to highlight is that the S9 Plus has 6 gigabytes of RAM. So it has more memory for processing, which means it's going to have a more fluid experience, in my opinion, based on having all that overhead. Now, the S9 is only going to have 4 gig of RAM, right? Now, they do have some good storage, so both of them are coming with 64 gigabytes of RAM when it comes to the actual storage that comes with the phone right out of the box. So you're not going to have to go running for a memory card, but once again, the processing to me is a very different story when it comes to each one. Expandable memory on both of these devices is pretty generous because you have that micro SD, and that micro SD is going to give you the ability to expand it up to 400 gigabytes. Now, that's crazy, right? I haven't even seen a memory card yet there. So the other thing is that the battery is a little bit different. So the battery for the S9 is 3,000 milliamps, and the S9 Plus is 3,500. So it's a 500 milliamp hour difference. Now, the last thing that I'll mention about the specs is that the display on the S9 Plus is going to be 6.2 inches, and then the display on the S9 is 5.8 inches. Not a big difference, but again, for those of you who like the larger screen, the specs are somewhat different. So now let's focus on some of the features, or at least some of the things that they're touting on the show. Now, one of the things I wish is that I was present in Barcelona. I had made it down to Barcelona once, not for a Mobile World Conference, but this one definitely would have been a cool show to be at, because Samsung did something really cool during their display of the S9 and S9 Plus. They actually used augmented reality. As you can see here, they basically asked everybody in the audience to take their badge, point their phones at the badge, and then the badge converted into the phone so they can get a feeling of what it would look like in their hand. I haven't seen anyone do this before, but it's a great example of what augmented reality is going to look like. Now, really the focus was all about the camera. And what they mentioned with the camera was that the aperture of the camera is going to be very close to what or how our eyes work. So imagine when you go into a dark area, how your eyes adjust. When you go to a light area, it adjusts, and it's virtually instantaneous. The camera is going to do the same thing. It's going to adjust the aperture based on what the lighting conditions are to give you the best experience. And they showcased how they were able to do this by turning off the lights and turning them on and taking a picture. Now, the one thing that they spent a terrible amount of time on was on the slow-mo. And slow-mo is like crazy good. So comparing to other phones in the market, their solution, which is like the super slow-mo, can do 960 frames per second. And as you see, as they're pouring water into this glass, the actual effect is absolutely incredible, and you can forward it, you can reverse it, and you can really even automatic turn on the slow-mo based on your child blowing bubbles, or in my case, my wife pouring some coffee into a cup. I know I'm going to do a slow-mo of that because she's a coffee person. So in addition to the slow-mo, they took, I would say, a card from what Apple did with the emojis, but then one-upped it. So while Apple has the Animojis, Samsung has your person emoji. They're able to take a picture of you and create an emoji that looks really like you. And there's several examples that they did. And the neat thing about the emojis is that you don't have to have the specific device, a Samsung device, in order to enjoy them. So you can send it to people, they're going to be able to see them, they're going to see how it works, and they're also creating integration into Facebook and some of the other applications. The camera, and I saw this at CES, not only is it going to be able to do the emojis, but it could take pictures of your food, and it will log the food automatically into S-Health. I did a video on that from what we saw at CES, and that's going to help those of you who are food conscious and don't really like logging food, but want to keep track of what you're eating. Now, the next thing that was big was this speaker. It's going to have Dolby Atmos speakers, dual speakers, top and bottom. Not something new. We've seen this with Apple. We've seen this with Huawei. We've seen this with ZTE. But finally, you're going to get stereo speakers. So let's see how that works. The other thing that they have is gigabit support. So as you see 5G, and 5G is pretty incredible, guys. So 5G processing speeds for your phone, their phones are going to be ready to support 5G or the gigabit speeds once they become available. And then the last thing they spoke of is multitasking and how they've done a lot of work around the multitasking. Now they have layered windows that are more naturally supported, as you can see here, where you click on a instant message and then it comes to the forefront and you're able to work on it. So once again, you can do your pre-orders on the 2nd, and it's going to be available on the 16th. We're going to order it. We will have it here on the channel. I have cases. I have screen protectors. We're going to do some preview videos. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and we'll see you in the next one.